Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Welcome back, everybody. You have questions? Wondering about certain things, why life is the way it is? You want maybe potentially things to change? I've got it. I've got the answer for you. She is the one that can help you out with that. Psychic medium Alisha B joins us here today on the program. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
Excited because anytime we have anybody with psychic ability, a higher level of intuitiveness, I get excited. I don't know what it is. It's just the energy. You never know what you're going to hear, what you're going to learn. Let's start with chakra, because that's something that's major in your wheelhouse. And I'll tell you right now, when I was literally a kid, I was running the camera in high school at a cable TV station, and we had this woman who was doing this chakra stuff, and I'm like, what the heck is that? What is a chakra? What is? And then she did Reiki. I'm like, what the heck is Reiki? And then years later, I was like, oh, that's what that is. And that's why we feel a certain way and we can't figure out what it is. So why don't we share with everybody? It's all energy. It's all energy. What are chakras?
Yes. So for chakras, there's primarily 7. There's a lot more than that. We just kind of focus on the 7 that run from top of the head to the base of your spine, to your bottom. And so there's 7 within that. I would say one of the most important to focus on is always your root. The root chakra, one is red color, if you ever want to envision it, but your root is your foundation. So if you think of a house, when you build a house, if your house foundation is not stable, everything above that breaks down. And so that would be past traumas. That's like anything that's gone wrong in your life, and we just kind of held on to that and have a grudge or negative feelings toward it. That can cause destruction in your foundation and make your house fall. And so all of those are building blocks to make it strong, and your house is your body. And if we can clear them out and get them flowing up and down how they're supposed to, get you grounded, your foundation and your house becomes stronger. You have the ability to when you get into a situation, to actually have clarity of thought and the ability to navigate that without the emotion attached to it. You can kind of have that step back and take a look and then move through your situation. And so it's very important that those be aligned. And pretty much all of ours are out of whack. I mean, we work with electronics, we work with other people, we tap into all of those energies without knowing about it. And so that can kind of muck up that whole chakra system down.
So questions about that. And I've always wondered about this, so I'm glad you're here to get this answered. So let's say we all have trauma. Things have happened in the past. Let's say past relationship, kind of messed you up. Then you see somebody like yourself. We clear the energy from your chakras. How long is it cleared for? And does that stuff come back? Or does it work this way? All right, Steve, I cleared you out, looking pretty good. A little wonky here and there, but we're all good. And then let's say you think about that relationship, or you have an interaction with that person that was in your life. And it kind of brought up, memories and things like that. Does that mean, certain chakras are going to get mucked up again because of that interaction?
They definitely can. So for me, during my sessions, part of what I give to clients that see me is what I call actions, or you need to action something, and spirit will come in and say specifically, you need to release this. For instance, one was somebody who had a big situation happen to him at 19 years of age that was not dealt with. They gave me 19 years of age, the situation, and told them that's where you need to start. You need to start dealing there, because that's snowballed for you and has put you in your position. I don't know if all healers do that, but for me, I always get something you can do to continue that healing process. If you choose not to do it, then most definitely you can get right back mucked up where you were.
Wow. I am going to say, I'm an open book. If you feel anything, see anything, want to share anything, I don't care what it is. You don't have to filter anything. I'm giving you permission to tap into my energy, or if anything comes up for you. Are you able to connect with those on the other side?
Yes. Which is actually, talking about energy sessions, I actually will get a psychic or medium read at the same time. You're not required to listen to it. I will let you know that I got one. And then if you want to hear it, great. If you don't, some people are just not ready to hear those messages. But I do contact spirit, which would be like your spirit guides, those that have crossed over completely if they've departed this world, your higher self, angels. That would be spirit to me. That's psychic side.
Sure.
And one, they help during your sessions. I ask them to come forward. Hey, I'm working, for instance, I'm working with Steve. Step forward. You're with him 24/7, since he was born. Tell me what he needs and direct me in healing him the best way possible. Because I don't know you personally. And so I let them direct what happens. And then typically a message will come through. I've had past loved ones step through. I've had a couple of animal dogs step through. I'm not a pet medium by any means, but they're always fun to see when they come through.
Sure.
So yeah, I do talk to both sides.
This whole thing with the energy and the other side, I want to share this because maybe it'll crystallize things for people. So I've been involved with psychics 25 years plus, help them start I'm not even going to give you the names, but you know the names. And they started with me doing this on radio. So I would see what they did, and I'm a skeptic. I would believe in it because, some people say, oh, we would take calls on the radio and people would say, oh, that was planned. No, I answered the phone. There's thousands of people calling. There's no way that, it could be, something that was planted. But I would ask them to go, I'm a skeptic. Go deeper. I want to see something deeper. So I witnessed that energy for myself. Fast forward to 5 years ago, my mom passed. And then I finally got it that when somebody passes on, their energy is still around.
Yes.
But I always wondered, how do psychics do it? I believed in it, but I never, I don't know. I guess they're connecting with the other side. I see it as not really connecting with the other side. They're connecting with the energy that still is around. And how do I know that? And why do I say that? And I'll take it to the last day, is that when I ask for signs from my mom, they're very specific.
Yes.
I mean, I could do 15 podcasts about in the last, couple of years, the things that she has sent when I asked. And that was my belief that, okay, they're here. All right. That is really cool. All right. Do I get signs from other relatives? Not so much. I don't know. She wants me to know, and they're specific. So that's my belief, that the energy of when somebody passes, the body's gone, like a car, only lasts for so long.
Yep.
Do you feel that same way?
I do. So yes and no. One,
Okay.
energy is left behind 100%.
Okay.
That is part of what we tap into, especially when they come to visit. Sounds like your mom visits a lot. We will tap into the fact she's visited. For me, I'll get specific instances of when they have come close or touched you in reassurance. Sorry.
She does it in signs, and she doesn't do it just randomly. She does it when I ask. Like, unless I'm, I'm missing it. And I think that's another part of it. We have to be open to seeing those signs.
100%. What I tell her, pay attention to the small things.
Yeah.
We always look for big, huge signs, but it's always the small things that are going to make you just be like, what happened there? Pay attention to that, because that what happened is them speaking to you.
That's a great point. And the first time she ever sent a sign, this is like 3 years ago. I was heading to a meeting, could be life-changing. That's all I'm going to say. Big. And the night before, I'm like, Mom, just please make it go. Please make it go well. Show me that you're listening. That morning, I did the same exact thing. I get my car, head to the meeting, never forget it, 9:22 in the parking lot. I pull in, and I'm just vibing her. I'm like, make this go well. Just, I need you. Please. And I look down in my console of my car at my energy drink, and the expiration date is her birthday. And I was like, oh. And everything went great. No issues whatsoever. And since then, I've gotten those types of signs. And I told my friend, he's like, yeah, right, 1 in 365 chance that date is down there. But then he says, however, what are the chances that you were looking down at that moment? Who looks at the expiration date?
Yes.
She wanted me to see it. And he's a skeptic. And he's like, the chances of that is like nil, that, you got stuff on your mind. You're looking down at the energy drink. So to your point, we got to be open. We got to see. We got to be, they're there. We just got to see them, right?
It was funny you brought up your car. So when I took that pause, there was actually, I was getting a message. Sorry, that's what I go blank. I'm just like, that means I'm typically getting something. I was shown a vehicle and I was shown a kitchen in the places that you talk to your mom the most. And that she is in those locations when you call on her. I feel like I'm getting something to drink when I talk to my mom at that moment, like I'm seeing you drink something.
Hmm. Tell
But
me about vehicle. You mentioned vehicle.
So I get two, I'm going to tell you two vehicles I get. I get a white truck. I don't know who the white truck belongs to. And then I get a black car.
So white truck belongs to somebody, I'm going to say involved with, but it's in my life. I'm not really
Okay.
involved with them in my life. So yeah, black car, I don't know, but
Don't know the black car. Okay. And it may be a dark car. It looks black to me. It's very dark. Yeah. Who had, do you have gray interior in your car? Truck had gray interior.
like a dark gray heading toward black.
The best way I can describe what I see, I don't know if you can fully see me, is just kind of sitting in the passenger seat, like it's okay. It's okay.
Hmm.
Just a calming, reassuring.
There's a reason I brought up the vehicle, and that was the vehicle that I saw that energy drink. Maybe I'm getting a black vehicle because I have to get a car. I just found out my current has an issue where it's not worth fixing, so it's time to move on. Maybe I'm ending up with and I don't know it. And I just got a text from a friend of a friend who works at a dealership. So maybe I'm getting a dark colored car. I don't know.
You'll have to let me know.
Yeah, seriously. I'm not opposed to it, but I need one soon. And my thinking was that I have a white car now. I've had white for a while in other vehicles. I'll try it again. They may say we don't have white because it's the most popular in this brand, and it might be black. So there might be a reason you said that. That's why.
Now I'm on the edge of my seat. You will have to let me know.
Yeah. Interesting. What has surprised you, like in doing a reading for somebody and it was validated?
So I would say some of the interesting ones, I guess, would be people for my brother would be one very interesting one I did. Wasn't even calling to discuss anything Claire. And my mom stepped through. My mom passed away 3 years ago. I have tried and tried to get her to come through for me. Doesn't work.
My dad never comes through for me like my mom.
Yes.
I don't know why. I don't have that answer.
I don't either.
Do you? I don't mean to cut you. You go.
No, I was just going to say I would call on her and she won't come through, and she stepped through right to him to tell him what he needed to know. And the only thing I can connect it to is I don't need her at this moment. And so she's not going to come through for me. But the moment I actually need her, she will come through to let me know what I need to know, where he was in a spot where he needed to hear things, and she gave him coded messages. That's another thing I get are coded messages.
Wow.
I don't do tarot. I've been given tarot cards for not patient clients. They understand it. I don't get it, but that's your message, not mine. So
I've been playing with those cards recently. I got a deck. What's his name? Kyle Gray. Everybody says, he's good. I don't know. They're like angel cards. They're like sort of like dumbed down version, because I just like to look at the card and see what it says. I want to say something based on your mom that maybe she's coming through in another way. I'll laser this down very, very, very quick. I asked for a sign from my mom. I never get them from my dad, right? I asked for a sign from her. I get a new modem in my office. Saved money, by the way. Thanks, Mom. And I flipped over the modem and I automatically generated. They just put a password on there. It was I'm staring at it on the wall. 4 digits dash her name dash 2 digits. Her name is Rose. So Rose is in the middle. I'm like, wow. Thanks for sending the sign, Mom. What do those numbers mean? It was driving me crazy. And every time I would figure it out, it would come out to 7 and 11. 7 and 11. What's going on with this? The last two numbers, 5, 2, 7. If you add the others and play with them, 7 or 11. I mentioned it to my daughter. She goes, maybe it's your dad. And I'm like, So I thought about it. He passed when I was very young. I was in my low 20s. I don't remember any, details. Honestly, kind of blocked it out. I didn't have a great relationship, but he dropped from a heart attack. He died on 7/11. And he was born on 3/4, added up.
7.
And I took that as a sign that maybe that was coming from my mom with my dad because he dropped from a heart attack. So I made an appointment with a cardiologist. This is just like a few months ago. Go to the cardiologist just to check up, whatever. I walk into the office. There's a woman there, with the intake. She has her name on her shirt. It's Rose, my mom's name. And, I have little issues here and there. Everything's fine, whatever. But it's almost as if she was trying to tell me, you need to go there and take care of, your health.
Yes.
But maybe your mom is coming through with somebody else and we have to pay attention to it. Because again, I've never gotten anything from my dad. I ask, I don't see it, just like your mom. Is there a point of time? People have told me too, when somebody passes, you might not get anything right away, especially if they just passed. Is there any truth to any of that?
I've had people recent pass. I've had people long time past come through. I don't, my thought process on that would be, are they able to generate the energy to communicate? Because that's one thing. When they leave, they're kind of like figuring out their new energy. And if they're not able to source that and be able to come through, then it may take some time.
Wow.
The ones that are longer departed are much stronger when they come through.
Gotcha. How did this start for you?
Wow. So it started when I was a kid, I used to play with ghosts at our house. It would kind of creep my parents out. They were kid ghosts too, by the way. So we would play with a ball. You would hear it bouncing and us running and children laughing, and it was just me. So that might have been a little weird. And then I shelved it back. I came back from overseas. I was in the military and ended up retiring out of the military due to that. And I got back into the spiritual business. That's when I started doing readings and things of that nature, but decided I was pretty much going to stay in the corporate world and not follow it. So I did couple other jobs, career paths that just did not pan out. I ended up getting injured or sick or something caused me to have to leave. And now that I'm doing my spiritual business, I feel healthier. I'm following what I feel is my true purpose, and I'm helping people more than I ever did in my other professions. And so I think it just propelled me into it this last time I had to step away from a career, which was nursing. So this is like very different than nursing.
Yeah, but in a way, I feel it's, there's some kind of connection where you're helping somebody. You're, in this regard, holistically helping somebody through energy healing, i.e., you're working with somebody's chakras. And there are people that do just that, and that's great. It's super cool that you blend a psychic part and the energy healing at the same time. It's almost like the perfect combination for what's going on there. And I have to imagine the intuitiveness helps you work on the energy healing with somebody as well, right?
It does. I will say being a nurse has helped me a lot. Whether I do it distance or in person for my energy sessions, having gone through anatomy and physiology and knowing the body and the processes, when spirit brings something, they can be very particular with me because I can understand what they're saying. So it's super beneficial.
Oh my gosh. I never thought of that. And every psychic I've ever known, good ones like yourself, they all had a medical connection. One was a phlebotomist. Another one I worked with a cosmetic surgeon. Another one all had some kind of medical background somewhere in there. Wow, how interesting.
That's very interesting. Yeah.
But I can see, like, if something comes through, how do you interpret it? If you don't have, at least some medical connection, if you're getting something, somebody passed heart related, okay, somebody could say, all right, heart attack. All right, great. But going a little bit deeper, when somebody's looking for answers, that, it was probably from this or a blockage or with that.
Yes.
You wouldn't know that unless you had a medical background.
Yes. I had a very interesting one, if you don't mind me telling you the story.
Please.
No name. Someone was discussing their sibling that was in the hospital, had been hospitalized. They couldn't figure out what's going on. They were going downhill, septic, full body infection, septic. And so we just did a quick little see what's going on. I actually got that they had almost a pinhole in their intestines. Turned out they had a procedure like 3 or 4 weeks prior that accidentally caused a little pinhole, and their body was poisoning themselves. That got patched up. This person has made a full recovery.
Whoa.
But it was not something that was looked at before, because who thinks something that happened 3 weeks ago is going to cause you an issue now on that level. So
Wow.
yeah, it gets interesting.
I just realized you do so much, right down to crystals.
Hmm.
We didn't even get to talk about that. And I got my stick of selenite right here. It's always in front of me. It's one of my
Yes, I
favorites.
have all of mine on that I wear.
I don't wear any.
None at all.
It's when you start realizing what this stuff can do and support you. Do we all have spirit guides?
100%. You have what I call your spiritual team, or what I guess we all refer to as your spiritual team. You'll have a guide. That's someone you've predetermined is going to be your die-hard person, going to be with you through thick and thin. Then you have your angels. They're your support system, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you kind of collected. And then you have your higher self, which is your big soul. The belief is we're just a sliver of our true being. And so our sliver connects with that higher self. I will say that angels cannot assist unless you ask. And a lot of us don't realize that. So they're not just going to come into the rescue if you don't say, hey, angels, I need help in this. They just have bound by universal law to observe without being called in.
So I recently heard that, and I went home, and I do, before I go to bed, that's where I either meditate or do some little deep thinking. And just what you said, I called out to my angel guides, whoever they are, and I said, I'm here. Please support me. Introduce yourself. I'd love to know who you are. If some people say Archangel Michael is one that, protects us. He's with pretty much all of us. Reached out. I didn't get anything because I fell asleep, which I guess is a good thing. But yeah, I'm going to continue doing that. And to your point, they're not just going to just jump in. You have to ask.
Yes, 100%. I'm so excited that you're doing that and asking them for names, though. Not a lot of people do that. And it's amazing when they come back with a name and you're like, I've never heard of that before.
Well, like I said, I'm a skeptic. So therefore, I want to be sure, and to your point, even the stuff I get from my mom, she doesn't just throw it out there. I need to ask for it, and then I shall receive it. I notice on your website, you have other people that do a lot of this intuitive work, other people that do readings, right?
Yes. Yeah. So it's actually a co-op. We're all independent business owners, and we're kind of under the umbrella of Insight Psychics. And that allows for when people come in, say you don't connect with me, you connect with someone else. We're here to help. All we want to do is help humanity. We want to help you find and heal and figure out what you need to figure out. And so it's actually a community of readers for our support, because like any profession, we do have doubts like, oh my gosh, did I do that? Or did I miss something? And so it's nice to have your colleagues that you can speak spiritually about, because not everybody understands, like you said, chakras. That takes time. And so it's a beautiful site to where we support one another, and we have the ability to rely on each other in our moments of doubt, because we still have this.
Love it. And everybody has, different forte. So, you might have somebody on your team that, has a little bit more of this. You may have a little bit more of that. InsightPsychics.com. That's the website, right?
That is, yes.
Super cool. 100%. And congratulations on getting that name.
Yeah, thank you. That would be Beth Lane. She's the owner of the umbrella site that we work under. And Insight Psychics, chef's kiss. It's a beautiful idea.
Yeah, beautiful. It says it all. What are you looking for? Insight. Where are you going to get it? Psychic.
Psychics.
Wonderful talking with you, Alisha. Learned a lot. It also backed up, what you just said about our spirit guides. You need to ask them.
Yes.
For that insight. And somehow along the way, by the way, I'll let you know, I'm calling the person today about the car. I might just end up with that dark colored car.
Oh, and you do, I'm going to laugh.
I'm not, saying that just to appease you. I mean it. Like, people tell me I want to get the same car, and white is the most popular, might not even be available. And I probably could be in a dark car. You never know. Somewhere along the line, I think we'll connect. Again.
Yes, I think so. It was a pleasure talking with you today.
You too. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Right, we'll be right back.
Are there times where you feel lost, as if nothing in life makes sense? Are you still trying to process events from the past or the passing of loved ones? Those questions and more can be answered through contacting your angels, guides, and higher self by me, Alisha B., psychic medium and energy healer. Visit me today at insightpsychics.com/ALISHA to begin your healing journey and bring a sense of balance to your life.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.